Hello everyone and happy October. I can't believe that we are in the last 3 months of the 2025 year. These are most definitely my favorite months. I love the weather turning colder, the colors that appear on the leaves, and the nostalgia that always hits me when the sun sets earlier in the day. For this week's theme, I decided to go with a cute autumn scene with lots of orange and yellow trees, and I even added in a park bench and a small black cat to go with the spooky October theme. I outlined everything in pencil as always and then got to coloring. I chose to write October in a calligraphy style front and center, and then I went in and decorated the rest of the page. I added in these pumpkins of various sizes and sporadically, which makes it so much more cozy. Next were the trees, and I chose 3 different browns and intermixed the colors for some dimension. I left some of the trees bare as if they had already lost their leaves, and then I colored in the trees with orange and yellow markers. The bench and the cat were a very fun addition. The black cat is just an outline, and then I had him sitting on the park bench, which I just shaded in various shades of brown. And then for the floor, I wanted it to be orange so it would look like mounds of freshly fallen leaves just piled up, which reminded me when I was a kid, my dad would rake up huge piles of leaves during autumn and would stick us in them. I also added in a very cliche quote, but a very lovely quote nonetheless, which is from Anne of Green Gables, and it reads, "I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers," which is very, very true. The autumnal foliage, the weather, the fall activities, all of those would be very missed indeed if October did not exist. Next, I set up my monthly calendar. I did an autumnal tree scene at the top with October in that same calligraphy, and then I placed 31 boxes. I think the leaves should be changing soon, probably peak color at the end of October, but drawing these has got me so excited for the changing of the season. I don't think I've fully loved on October in the past couple of years in the way that I should have, just because I'm always so much more excited for November and December, and I kind of overlook this month a little. But this year I have planned some very fun fall activities for October. Like, I haven't properly celebrated Halloween in like 4 or 5 years, which is pretty crazy. So I want to throw a small party, maybe if it's only just for my fiance and I, but I still want to do something fun. Next, I went in and added my days of the week header, alternating with those warm colors. I am also unable to not place a drop shadow. They just look so good and add in so much dimension, so I'm adding in the same color to each column. I labeled all the boxes, and then I thought it was looking a bit bare, so I went in and added in different kinds of leaves like a maple and oak leaf. I also added in 2 boxes for any major events or notes that I'll need to keep my eye on for this month. I usually make my next weekly spread on a Sunday, and I'll always come to this page and look at anything in those boxes that need to be transferred over to my weekly layout. For my habit tracker, I just kept it simple and how I normally do it, with a nice calligraphy header at the top. I added in this cute little pumpkin too, and then sketched out another tree scene at the bottom, adding in another pumpkin. Next, I added in all of my individual habit calendar boxes and colored in the headers of those before I moved on to finish coloring in the tree scene below. Next, for my mood tracker, I again put the calligraphy label at the top, and I added in an outline of a black cat this time. I then colored in the giant bare tree, and for my days, I drew 31 individual leaves, like they were being shaken from the tree. And this tracker is pretty simple, but I really love how it turned out. For my playlist page, I added in my header, and then I went in with my orange marker and drew these curved boxes replicating the same shape as I did for the calendar page. And then I added in stems, brown stems on the top to look like little pumpkins, and then added in a bit of curly greenery to make them stand out a bit more. My brain dump page is so simple. I just added in an orange border, and then I put a bare tree in the bottom right corner with some foliage on the ground, and then I added in my header. For my first week of October, I added in these giant boxes, which are going to be my tasks or planning schedule for each day. I added in October at the top of this page and then placed some warm drop shadows on each of the boxes. On the right side of the page, I drew these long vertical boxes, which are going to be my notes for next week and to-do sections. These are just areas that I can place random events or reminders from the previous month, and then throughout the week, I can assign them or transfer them to certain days. Some days are heavier in work than others, so I use these boxes kind of like a pre-staging area so I can assign tasks throughout the week rather than placing tasks and overworking myself on one specific day when I think of something. And then this just helps organize my brain and helps me finish the stuff that I actually have for the week. I added in another cute fall tree scene at the bottom and also my menu for the week before I went back and labeled the weekly boxes with the days of the week and the numbers. Here is the final flip through of my October bullet journal for 2025. I love how colorful and fall it looks with the vibrant oranges and yellow trees. The small details of the pumpkins and the cats and the leaves make me very happy and so excited for fall. I hope you all have a wonderful October filled with spooky and autumnal moments and memories. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Bye!